Hey you guys, sorry for the late notice or no notice at all, but I really wanted to give you guys an opportunity to be able to do this craft before Halloween hit. So this is what we're going to be making. How adorable is that? And once more, this is, I'm pretty sure this is all pretty inexpensive stuff. Like each item is about $1. So once more, really inexpensive and adorable. Look at how cute that is. So what we have is material on here. And so you also get to choose what material you want. So super exciting, super cute. And actually you won't even have to worry too much if the kids are hurting it because of how inexpensive it is. So it's really exciting on that front too. So what we're going to start out with is a dollar store pumpkin. So it's just foam. You can see it's just foam. And what we're going to want to do is first take off the tag. And once more, these are just at, we got these at Dollar Tree. All right, so just took off our tag. And then I actually got one that was already broken open. And sometimes you can wiggle out the top earlier. Oh, and if you're having trouble seeing, just swipe away the comments and then you'll be able to see because it's kind of hard to get everything all in. Here, let me move you down just a touch. There you go. And so that will help. And so if you're having any trouble, just go ahead and swipe those comments away. I seem to get a lot of comments, people wondering why they can't see it, and that will definitely help you. All right, so I'm just going to use a butter knife and just being careful because you don't want to accidentally, put your knife right through it and put all these big holes in it or crack your foam. Sorry, that doesn't sound good. All right, so we're just going to go ahead around it. And like I was saying, this was just at the dollar store. And just about got that open. So this will be our example one. So then I was showing you guys. So I have one completely done and I have one half done that we'll finish today. And this is just to show you guys the starting. So I'll have to finish this one after the live and show you all three of them all done, which will be a lot of fun. All right, sorry, that squeak is just an awful sound. All right, so it's going to be maybe a little bit messy. You might have some foam floating around. Make sure you keep it away from everybody. You need to be out. No, out.
I need socks so I can't play outside.
My daughter is sneaking in. All right, get them quietly. Quick, quick. All right. Ooh, okay. This one's a little more tricky than others. Just spinning it, that'll help loosen it up. And this one's got a lot of glue on it. So I'm just going to go ahead, see if I can push it out another way. This is definitely more tricky than the other one, so hopefully you guys get one of the easier ones. All right, well if it's going to be fussy like that, we can go ahead and just rip it out. Okay, because that's not a big deal. Go ahead and put it on. I think we will need to get that. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and use some scissors and cut that out because we want it to be a little bit nicer when we get to the end. Because I like to be able to use it at the end, so I can't be using it at the end when it's got all this stuff on it. All right, okay, that's a lot better. So now it's made twice the mess that it has on the other ones, but most of the time, it's actually just been super easy, okay? All right, so we got it separated, okay? And so what I did, where I got my materials, so I got this one, and I got this one, which will be the one we'll be working on today. And it says a bunch of words on it. It's got the grays and stuff. And this one will be the one that I'll finish later. So I got 3 different materials, and these were just the quarter, what are they called? A fat quarter that you can get at Walmart for only $1. It's like 97 cents. So you can go out and pick out which ones you want. And yeah, so I guess I should show you guys that. But pretty much I folded it in half. But I'll show you guys because I want you guys all to know exactly what you're doing. So we'll use this one as that example. Sorry, that one really did make a much bigger mess than any of the other ones. All right, so we got our fat quarter, like I said, from Walmart, only $1. So we're talking pretty much only $2 unless you include the glue and the scissors. So that's pretty inexpensive to make an adorable pumpkin. All right, so we got that folded, and we're gonna do it the long ways, okay? So to make things easier so you guys don't have to worry about measuring, because I like to cut corners. I like to cut corners, but in a good way, where you're saving time but not losing it.
Where did you put our skates?
I don't know, honey. Sorry.
Down.
I don't know. You'll have to close the door. You'll have to go look in the van. Sorry, usually they're pretty good when I'm doing lives at not interrupting. She's not very good at closing doors either. How many of you guys have kids who don't know how to close doors? all the time. All right, so we're getting this cut in half. All right, so that's the example. This isn't the material we'll be using today because I wanted to give us a little bit of a head start. All right, so we got this. We got our half piece of material. Okay, so we want to cut it in half because we're going to use 1/2 for one side and 1/2 on the other side, right? Okay, so what I like to do is kind of eyeball it. You know, you guys can go ahead and fold it in half, maybe make a crease or even a mark, so then you can figure out more where the middle is. Let me scoot you back a little bit more so you guys can see a little bit better. There you go. So then you can kind of figure out where the middle is. Okay, open up. So I kind of got a little bit of a crease there, and that should be good enough. And so I'm just going to go ahead. Let me see. I usually like to go right in the middle, so we'll go right here, just right about in the middle of this one. Oh, I thought my glue was good. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got a bit of sparkles. My kids were using my glue gun right before, right? And you want to make sure that you're getting it where both sides will be able to come up and go over, especially right in the middle. So I'm a little bit on the high side. So once more, that will help if you're marking it. Make sure I got it. See, it needs to just make sure it's over. And if it's not working, remember we're covering it up anyways, so you can go ahead and just kind of rip it off and re-glue it. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. All right, so let that kind of make sure it's holding good. All right, and so we're going to do little pleats like you can see in here. So just to start out, what I'm using as a guideline is actually the divots that are already in there from the pumpkins. So that's kind of like just a guideline to be able to give us an idea of where we might want to do our pleats. Okay, so I just do a little line there and go ahead, and it'll be right near the middle. Open this up and make sure that spot is nice and smooth, and just make sure it's in there. And it might be a little warm, so don't burn yourself, right? I mean, I totally burn myself all the time, but, you know, I got to encourage you guys to be safe about it. All right, and this one, I pretty much already got that one in the crease, but just to make sure, because I was aiming for the side, I'll go ahead and put a little bit more. All right, make sure it's good and in there. All right, and because this one might be a little bit easier for you guys to see, I'll start with that one. And what I do is I just kind of do a little pinch. There's only about 1 centimeter there, right? And I put a little bit of glue, and we're just working in the middle. We're just gluing about like 1 inch, okay? Even less than 1 inch, just shy of 1 inch. And then I just fold it over, right there, right about where the divot is in the pumpkin already. Feel like you guys are sitting funny. There we go. Maybe that will help. All right, so that's one done. Okay, and then I'll go on to the other side while I let that one kind of stiffen up and dry. And we already glued it down, and so I'll do that again. So I got to do it where you guys can see. Okay. And like you saw, I already did the other half, so then this will go a little bit faster for y'all. And then you guys don't have to watch me. So it does take a little bit more time, but it is still easy and very inexpensive to make adorable pumpkins. All right, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. So, and then what I do, so we put the little pleat in, right? And then I flip it over, and you'll see, like, sometimes the glue will help a bit, but it needs to be glued down on the inside too. So we just want to make sure that in those center areas, it's really glued down. So I kind of do overkill on the glue, but I'd rather it be too much than too little, right? All right, so that's now done, and we can go ahead and try not to pull too hard, especially if you're working on the same side. That's why I kind of like to switch to give it time to dry, but since it's easier for you guys to see right here, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So if you do work on the same side, remember not to pull it too hard or you're going to pull that glue up, especially if you're using the dollar store glue like I am. All right, there you go. Okay, and I'll switch it. All right, and where's the divot? Try and do this nice and quick for you guys. All right, and there was the little divot that was already in the pumpkin. Try and make it nice and smooth. See how that's coming along? So I tried to pick the material that it would show the best for you guys. All right, and if you feel like it needs a little extra glue, then go ahead and add it. You know, just maybe not use sparkly glue like I'm using, but normally the clear glue will be fine. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch again to let that side dry and work on my next pleat. So pinch and fold Kind of helps if you rub it a little bit, because then it'll help keep that pleat for you. And just run the glue along. And it seems like there's oh well, I guess on this one there's quite a few, but probably about 10 in total. And that's on the more pleated side. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do on the inside too while I'm on this side. So like I said, it will take a little bit of time, but once you kind of get a system and in a rhythm, then it goes a little bit faster. So if it's taking you a bit of time, just remember it's your first time doing it. And if you do a cute little pattern like I'm doing with 3 little pumpkins, by the time you get to the last one, you'll be zooming through it. Okay, that one. Now go ahead and glue it down on this side too. So it does go through a little bit more glue than some of our other projects. And yes, if you're wondering, I do love glue guns. I love working with glue guns. They accomplish so much for me. And this one is just I think this one might have been from Walmart for like $3 too. So if you need a glue gun, if you don't have one and you're like, oh, you know, like it would be really awesome if I could do these if I have a glue gun. They're pretty inexpensive when you keep your eyes open. All right, and this side. And once more, trying to keep it all nice and smooth. Okay, back to the pleat over here. And you'll see that they're not even, you know, they're not exactly the same on either side. They usually do that to make it a little more decorative. If it looked totally perfect, then it wouldn't look like a real pumpkin, right? Yes. All right. Okay. Other side. That one is, all right, just one more pleat on this side and we're good. At least for this side. Okay, and then once more, just getting the one line of glue. So I mean, really, it's just a little fold, a little pinch, and some glue. All right, and then go ahead and do it on the inside. All right, and now this side. See how we're doing. We have, looks like we have 2 more pleats on this side. And then we'll be able to just put it all together. Okay, come on. Once more, this is a guideline. Like, I just picked a middle one. You could have them all going the same way, and that would be fast too. You know, then you're not waiting around. You just keep on going one kind of pleat all the way down. All right. One, and we're going to try and do these at the same time just to save me some time and burn my fingers, of course. All right, one more pleat. We're just about there, just about there. All right, didn't do my pleat before. There we go. All right, so look a little bit silly, kind of like a fan. It's all fanning out. Okay, but we got all of our little pleats on there, and it's all attached to our pumpkin. All right, so we're getting a real good start on it. All right, and so what I like to do, something just poked me. All right, what I like to do is to try and get those pleats all the way to the end. So I kind of grab that fold and kind of let it go where it wants to go, but kind of guiding it to where the pleats are. We're getting a little red sparkle in there from my kids' glue. That's what I get for letting them use my glue gun. All right. So that's the first plate that we're worried about, is that center one that we started with. Okay, so we want to follow that pleat. See how it comes together there? And we want to make sure that that one gets glued down really good. Okay, so we glue down that one pleat. Okay, and then we do the same on the other side. We just really want to make sure that that one gets done good, that center one. Because that's kind of like, gives us a foundation for all the rest of them. Okay? So we did that again. See how it's got the fold, the 2 pleats on either side. And we just glue it in on the inside. All right. Ow, ow. Double burn. All right. All right, so it's already caught in some of the other pleats with that. All right, and so that's mostly what we're going to do. We're going to keep on trying to keep those pleats. And glue them down a bit. Just make sure they go all the way to the end. No glue came out. That's good. We're getting rid of the sparkles. All right. So we'll work on just one side here. And I kind of like to set up one pleat and the next one before I glue one down. So then I'm not gluing down a pleat when the next one might be crushed and disappeared. Okay. And then this one was set up pretty good. Get that next one. So this one is definitely a little bit more finicky than some of the other crafts, but you'll see it is worth it, and it is still pretty easy. You know, like if you mess up a little bit, people aren't going to notice. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. They'll see the material and just think of how cute it is, and they'll be right because it will be adorable. All right, and so now we got a little bit loose in there, so we want to make sure we get, let me see, get underneath there to hold it down. All right, so we're just getting underneath the material to hold that material down so it's not flapping all over. And we'll just wait on the end, okay? So we didn't do that last section. We'll just wait till we do the other side to get that, okay? Let's see on this side. Once more, just kind of grabbing those pleats, making sure they're still good near the bottom. Okay, and the next pleat. You know, and it's not going to be perfect. Pumpkins aren't perfect. That's totally okay. All right, just folding another pleat in there. Ooh. Keep on burning myself. All right, and I think I'm going to glue down some of that flap. So once more, just putting some glue in, gluing that flap down. All right, and that looks like our last pleat on that side. Okay. And that's one side, and now we got to do the top side, right? So once more, just following those pleats. Sometimes, like I'm doing, you know, I'm kind of folding it here and gluing it here. So then I know that that pleat is already going to be there, that it's already guided there, and that it's good and secure. And grab the next one. Make sure the next one has enough material for it. That's really the trick, is making sure that you have enough material for the pleat following the one that you're gluing down. Okay, so I'm going to go under. It's no fine science or anything like that, and it's still pretty easy. Just use a lot of glue and make sure everything's staying in place. All right, looks like we got one more pleat in there. Okay, and then once more, just going to glue down some of this extra material, mostly so then it's out of my way. All right. Oh, and looks like we got one more side, so we'll go ahead and tuck this side in. You just kind of smooth it out as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm a huge fan of things just being cute and not having to be perfect. Kind of like us, right? All right. So we just have 2 or 3 more pleats on this side, and then we'll be good to go. All right, one pleat. Get that other pleat in there. All right, hold them down. And then we're just gonna do the end. The only thing you don't want is, see when I did that, is like poking out. You don't want that. So try and smooth that out, right? So that's why it's good to kind of just do a little bit at a time on the side, just to make sure it's going to hold down and not be all crazy poking out. Glue in on the inside. All right. All right, and it's okay if you have it all like floppy like that, because it's going to be on the inside. But if you'd like, you can go ahead and glue some of it down. Just spurt glue wherever and push it down, and then it won't be in your way as much. All right, so that's the one we just did. Ooh, got lots of glue strings on there. That's what happens when you try and do it too fast. All right, so that's what we got going on here. We got our words on there. It's all Halloween themed. We got some cats and spooks. All right, and then we need to make sure we got the right side up. All right, pretty sure this is the right side up. Oh, make sure I got the flat side. I have to mark it next time. Okay, and I like to get this back in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it back in first. Okay, just by putting it against one of the sides. Okay, and then while that one is drying a bit, I need a little bit more glue. Oh no, I'm down to the sparklies. Well, at least it's a nice sparkly silver, which will totally work with my gray material. All right, try and get it out quickly. And go ahead and put lots of extra. You really want to make sure that it is filling the space. And with a little glue gun, this is definitely better with the bigger glue gun, stronger glue gun, because it will stay hotter and so it can run more smoothly, where this one, it kind of dies a little bit when you're at the end trying to get more glue out. All right, and I've just put it all together, lined it up, put it together, pushing it together good and tight. Make sure it gets a good solid dry. So I'll just wait a moment while it does that, because we don't want it to fall apart on us. All right, that looks good. All right, so $2. Pumpkin material from Walmart, pumpkin from the dollar store, material from Walmart. Put some pleats and glue, and you got adorable pumpkins. Here we go. What do you guys think? How did that turn out? All right, if you guys end up doing this, I definitely want to see what cute materials you guys decide to use. And yeah, just let me see your pumpkin fun. And oh, I did want to mention, you guys, that I don't know if you guys have heard about teal pumpkin. So I like to get the word out a little bit, and this is a great opportunity to do so. So the teal pumpkin, I don't know fully what it's all about, so you might need to look it up. But my understanding is you are trying to get treats that will be allergy free, so that kids that have really bad allergies, they look for these teal pumpkins, and so they'll be able to come and trick or treat at your house, and you will have something that they can have, and so they know to look for these teal pumpkins. So if you want to do that, I did see some cute pumpkins at Walmart, and they were only $1, and there was teal, about allergy-free treats. Thank you, Missy. And so we've done this several years, and like some years no kids come, and some years they're just, people are so grateful for it. So even if you just get a few of them, it would be really great to be able to help out those kids who often don't get many of the treats. My kids have a few allergies themselves, and so it's like even though they tend to get most of the, they get enough candy, like they're fine, but it makes me sad that other kids might not. And so teal pumpkins, they have some of just the plastic ones at Walmart for only $1. So if you decide to do it, have your teal pumpkin and have some of those allergen-free treats for them is a great way to, spread the holiday spirit. All right, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful time. I hope you guys get this done before Halloween, and let me see what you do. All right, bye-bye, you guys.